מחדשהו הקדוש ברוך הוא עלינו ועל כל עמו בית ישראל לחיים ולשלום לששון ושמחה לישועה ולנחמה ונאמר אמן.
Page 181 for Asher, you may be seated.
I think it's Friday, but it's not. Who's doing it?
Ashrei yoshvei beitecha od yehalelu chasela Ashrei ha'am shekach lo Ashrei ha'am she'Adonai Elohav tehillah David Melech. Tehillat Adonai yadaber pi vivarech kol basar shem kodsho le'olam va'ed va'anachnu nevarech ya me'ata ve'ad olam. Hallelujah. Please rise as we return the Torah to the ark.
Adol eretz v'shamayim v'yarem keren le'amot Tehillah lechol chasideh Livnei Yisrael am karova Hallelujah, hallelujah Mizmor leDavid Havul Adonai b'nei Elim Havul Adonai kavod be'oz Havul Adonai kivod shemo Yishtachavu l'Adonai be'adrat kodesh Kol Adonai alamayim al kavod hirim Adonai amayim rabim Kol Adonai ba'koach Kol Adonai be'adar Kol Adonai shober arazim Shober Adonai adar zehalvanon Vayarkitem kamo hegel levanon Vesirion kemo ven reimim Kol Adonai chotev havotesh Kol Adonai yachil midbar Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh Kol Adonai yecholel hayalot Vayechesof yerod Uveicholo kulo mer kavod Adonai lamavuya Shabayeshev Adonai melech leolam Adonai oz le'amo yiten Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom Uvnucho yomar Shuvah Eitz chaim hi lamachazikim ba v'tomcheha meushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuvah Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Yasher koach to Jenny for leading us in the Torah service. You may be seated. I know. It's my honor to call up Ben Siegel, who's one of our rabbinic interns this year. And I'll just give a plug as he's coming up and you're able to learn from him that Cheva, who's in the back, another one of our rabbinic interns, she's going to wave. there she is, gave her senior sermon this past week. Rabbi Kligfeld and I were able to go and hear her, and it's really beautiful Torah. It's in the email that went out yesterday from Rabbi Kligfeld, and you can watch it or you can listen to it, but we're just so lucky to have multiple rabbinic interns who are able to teach us such depth of Torah, and in this week in particular, to have both of you be able to teach us and for us to be able to learn from you is just such a blessing. So I invite up Ben. Do you want me to pass these up for you? Okay.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. While the source sheet is going around, I just want to contextualize a little bit where we're going today. So in today's parsha, Sarah passes away, and Yitzchak finds a wife, and those two things are, in a certain sense, interrelated, because at the end of the parsha, we read that Sarah and Rivka get married, Yitzchak and Rivka get married, and there's this marriage, there's love in this marriage, which is notably the first romantic love in the Torah, and that Isaac is comforted after the death of his mother. So there's clearly something going on in this relationship that's meaningful, that's more than just a for the sake of procreation type of a relationship. So with that in mind, the question kind of comes up is, what is this servant who goes unnamed in the Torah, and there's different midrashim about who it may be? What is the servant that Abraham tasks with finding a wife for Isaac? What's he looking for? So normally you read the text.
Yeah, you should read because you have the microphone.
Yeah. So I'll read the first text on our page. And he said, O God, God of my master's Abraham's house, grant me good fortune this day and deal graciously with my master Abraham. Here I stand by the spring as the daughters of the townspeople come out to draw water. Let the maiden to whom I say, please lower your jar that I may drink, and who replies, drink, and I will also water your camels. Let her be the one whom you have decreed for your servant Isaac. Thereby shall I know that you have dealt graciously with my master. So on first look, what are the context clues that we have as to what this servant is looking for? Yeah. Thoughtfulness and generosity. Somebody who works. Kindness and compassion.
Someone who has strength. Water's heavy.
Someone who has strength, because those jugs of water are going to be heavy. Great. I think those are all, yeah, one more. Someone who's willing to go beyond that which is asked for. These are all great reads into the text. And now let's dive in a little bit and see what Rashi thinks, because Rashi's going to pick up on a couple of things. So on the text, so we're on the first Rashi text there. She is fit for him, since she will be a doer of chesed and will therefore be worthy of admission into the house of Abraham. Thoughts on where Rashi is? Yeah. The first pasuk says Abraham. Why do we need all the Avraham in the first verse there? Okay. And so what's your take on why we need Avraham? So we're either trying, if I understand correctly, we're either trying to distance ourselves from Abraham, this is a new generation, same line but new generation, or we're actually trying to say that Abraham is important to this whole. Okay, but definitely the second one. Okay, yeah, Nor? So this is more about Avraham needing to, if I understand what you're saying, this is more about Avraham needing to find someone to help make sure the lineage continues, because Isaac isn't in that mind frame right now to go looking for a partner.
I don't know what the word hakre means, but it's not what's translated. Just wanted to sort of put that out there, that like there seems to be sort of an incredulousness or a kind of agnosticism in that word somehow for me, that it's almost like God of my master Abraham, hakrena. It almost sounds like make yourself known to me. Almost. It has that sort of sound like likro, but it's not the same word. Before me, right? Because this servant only knows God through Abraham's testimony about God, presumably.
Make it happen.
Anyway, I think it's a strange kind of, because the servant could just as well shirk the responsibility and say, "Oh, I didn't find anybody," right? It's in his interest actually to not find anybody necessarily, and yet the servant is so wholeheartedly on mission that they're earnestly making this prayer, even though it's not their God.
In other words, we're not exactly sure why the servant is doing what the servant's doing, but there's something there, like there's some mission that he feels. Okay. Other thoughts as to why, like what Rashi's picking up on in terms of different traits in a partner? Yeah. Great. So God is being kind in terms of finding helping the servant find a partner, and so we're looking for a parallel of that in a partner. There's various texts about just as God does kindness, so we should do kindness. Same idea going on here. Great. So let's move on to the next one, which I think we'll also pick up on that a little bit. That thou hast shown kindness. If she is one of his family and a fit companion for him, I shall know that thou hast shown kindness to my master. Great. I think that kind of speaks for itself and speaks to what Jacob was saying, that we're looking for, there's like some tie between Gemilut Chasidim and kindness. And so I want to move on to what Kli Yakar says. And I'm just going to kind of run through this a little bit. It's a little bit shortened for the sake of time, but she you have proven for your servant for Yitzchak is from the Torah. Rashi explains she is worthy for him that she is a doer of chesed. This topic is juxtaposed with the topic of Ephron the Chiti, because he too was from a family of Canaan. For if he will remain in his righteousness in the business of money, then in every insight it will be revealed that he is complete, honest, and vice versa. And from here, Eliezer learned that he didn't need to check Rivka except with this trait. If she is generous and does chesed, and he goes on to essentially say, this is what we're looking for. Thoughts on how this trait might play out in a partner, what the servant's really looking for here. Yeah. Can you say a little bit more what you mean by complementary? So Avraham is tasking the servant feels that his task is to find someone who can fulfill this mission from Abraham to make sure that Yitzchak still has chesed in his life. Yeah.
You don't have to repeat if I speak into a microphone. I think that there's something here to go back to the trauma piece that maybe he's not ready to find his own partner. That when we think about Abraham, we think of a man who brings chesed into the world, whether or not based off of his actions that's warranted. But the idea here that if we continue on in that kliyakar, that there is something to be said for, I'm asking for one thing, but then the partner should be able to see kind of beyond what is being asked, right? Read between the lines, understand that it's not just, oh, you need water, okay, here's a cup of water, but oh, if you need water, then so too your camels might need water, and the other people that you've brought with you should need water as well. So that Isaac, and again, maybe going back to this trauma that he's lived through, potentially has blinders almost on, that he can only see the black and white, and so he needs a partner who's going to help him kind of open up the world again, to be able to see that which is in front of him in a way of giving back to people or providing for people. And it seems that Rebecca is that partner because she, again, goes beyond just the immediate ask and recognizes how to give even more.
Great. So be generosity, and it could be all of these things. But in some relationships, you can have all of those things, and the relationship still doesn't just mesh. And in other cases, you can have none of those things, and things somehow still function. And so in that sense, I think there's something that's just ineffable about successful relationships. There's some spark of God in every relationship. And so my prayer is that we can feel the divine spark in each of our relationships and experience the wonder and amazement that we get to have these people in our lives. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Ben. Yasher koach to Ben. We will continue now with Musaf on page 184 as Cantor, what do we call you? Cantor Jeremy comes and leads us. 184 on the field, and then if you are at home, page 155 or 428. Please rise.
As I'm finding my page here, I'll just quickly say it's such a delight to be here, and you've invited my wife and I into your community all of us for this whole week. And even just this Shabbat, I've learned so very, very much from you all. And the Musaf that I'm going to be leading, I'm hoping that I can return the favor a little bit and share with you to be a lot of Canadian composers synagogue music with their history rooted in the British tradition. So if you don't know the melodies, that's perfectly okay. I absolutely welcome everyone to sing along if you can. I'll go a little bit slower than I normally do, and we'll see if we make it through together. Here we go. Gadal mikadash meira, Yomadi v'rachlu tevanich maku tevach yechon v'yvon kol Yisrael, Bagal yvan kani v'romei, Eish meira v'zorach, Galam l'almei almaya, Yitleilan tov kadash rataf, Ukavan v'gatad v'nema v'yaru, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Oteinu, Elohei Abraham Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Gibra, El Elyon Gom, Melech Sadim Oim, Ekoneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot, U'mevii Goel Livei V'neihem, B'man Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer V'Oked U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ufoked Sarah, Atah Gibor Adonai Me'ayim Kod Arav Le'Hoshia, Mashiva Ruach Morid Hagarem, Mechakel L'chaim Bechesed, Mechayei Meitim Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Ve'Rofech Cholim, U'matir Asorim Ocha, Bal Gevurot, Yomito Elach, Melech Meimit U'Mechayei, U'Masmiach Yeshua, V'nem Targayolitim, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei HaMeitim. הקדישה, כבוד ישר וקודש, המקדישים שמך בקודש, ככתוב על ידיך, וקרא זה זה, וקרא זה זה, וקרא זה לזה, ויאמר. קדוש, 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 אדון צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבוד. כבודו מלא מלא עולם הים כבודו, כבודו מלא הים כבודו, כבודו מלא מלא עולם שואלים שואלים זה הים כבודו, לעומתם לעומתם ברוך יאמרו. ברוך אדוני ממקומו, הוא יפר ברחמים ויכון עם המייחד שמו ערב הבוקר בכל יום תמיד המייחל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד הוא אלוהינו הוא אבינו הוא מלכנו מושיענו והוא ירמינו ברחמיו שנית לעיני כל חי והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו שנית לעיני כל חי לימון לכם לאלוהים אדוני אלוהיכם ודברי לך כתוב לאמור ימלוך אדוני לעולם אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור לדור ודור הללויה לדור ודור לדור ודור לדור ודור נגיד נגוד לך ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושה אחד מקדיש, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד לך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש, ושמך אלוהינו מפינו לא נמוש לא למעט כי ימך אדון כי ימך אדון קדוש אתה לדור דור לדור דור לדור דור נגיד קולך ולנצח נצחים ולנצח נצחים קדושתך